Stay there, guys.
With all eyes on a courtroom on Long Island, nearly 300 miles away on Capitol Hill, the New York Republicans, who have long called for George Santos to resign, doubled down.
I think it's just the first domino to fall in really what will unwind his ability to stay in the House of Representatives.
Democratic Representative Richie Torres, who filed an ethics complaint against Santos earlier this year, said after the indictment, House GOP leaders now have a choice.
There are only two morally acceptable outcomes. Either George Santos resigns, or House Republican leadership finally summons the courage and the integrity to expel him from Congress.
But GOP leadership is so far not taking that step. Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who leads a slim Republican majority in the House, is declining to call for Santos's resignation, saying he remains innocent until proven guilty. That's a sentiment North Country Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, the highest-ranking New York Republican on Capitol Hill, echoed Wednesday.
As I've said from the very beginning on questions on this subject, this legal process is going to play itself out. Unfortunately, this is not the first time a member of Congress from either party has been indicted.
Notably, all of the New York Republicans in Congress from swing districts have been urging Santos to step down for months now. On Wednesday, the ones we spoke with did not publicly press McCarthy on the issue.
Is it time for the Speaker to call for Santos to resign?
You can ask the Speaker that question.
I leave that to the Speaker. I want the Speaker focused on the debt ceiling, the number one issue that we're facing and that matters to our nation right now.
Now, one new development in the last hour or so here, McCarthy has told reporters that he will not support George Santos for re-election, indicating that he has a lot going on in his personal life that he needs to deal with. Now, of course, in addition to this federal probe, there are also ongoing other investigations at other levels of government. And then here on Capitol Hill, there is that ethics investigation, which is ongoing as well. The exact timeline for when we might get some resolution there, very much up in the air. Errol?
Yeah, so Kevin, just for some expectation level setting for our audience, 9 out of 10 federal criminal cases end up in a guilty plea. That is a more than likely outcome in this case, as in any others. But that doesn't necessarily mean that even if he pleads guilty, George Santos will leave Congress, right?
I mean, that's one of the speculations that has been out there from lawmakers that I've spoken to, for example, is that he might be staying on, he might be running for re-election as part of a plea down the road. Of course, we don't want to get too far over our skis here, but perhaps that could be part of the deal, that he would leave Congress in exchange for a more lenient sentence. Again, we shall see. But there's no signs of him going anywhere at this point, because we know this sort of case could take a while to play out. McCarthy so far not calling for him to resign even after he knows all of the various charges against him. And you would need a 2/3 majority in the House to expel him from the House.
Strategically, he's been so helpful to Democrats as somebody for them to beat up on and point to the Republicans as having one in their ranks who really is possibly criminal and arguably unfit for office. Are the Democrats telling you, maybe with a little wink, that, like, gee, we wish he'd go away? On the other hand, they're kind of loving that he's staying around.
Well, I mean, if you saw Congressman Hakeem Jeffries' tweet earlier today, he labeled this the party of George Santos and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he, of course, is the top Democrat on the House side. Yes, I mean, look, there is this question of would he be an albatross around the neck, and when I engaged with a Republican on that question a little earlier today, he tried to brush away that question as quickly as possible as to whether or not he could bring their chances down in these swing districts come next year.
All right, thanks very much, Kevin.